It's a flooded server room, or a ransomware node, or simply a hard drive that finally dies. Every business will face a day its systems go down. That's not an if, it's a when. And on that day, only one question matters. How fast can you come back, and how much will you lose getting there? In this video, availability and disaster recovery, the plans, the metrics, and the backups that decide whether a disaster is a hiccup or the end. Welcome back. We've built a system, stored its data, secured it, and run it on infrastructure. Now we ask the question every one of those depends on. What happens when it all goes down? Keeping systems up and getting them back fast is availability and disaster recovery. I'm Professor Lamptey. Here's the plan. The difference between a business continuity plan and a disaster recovery plan. The two metrics the exam loves, RTO and RPO, backup strategies, recovery sites, and why an untested plan is worthless, all followed through one disaster at our company. Let's define our terms. Write these down. Availability means the system is up and usable when people need it. To protect it, organizations write two plans. A business continuity plan, or BCP, keeps the whole business running through a disruption: people, facilities, communication, operations. And a disaster recovery plan, or DRP, is the IT-focused piece inside it: how you restore the systems, the data, the technology. Think of it this way. The BCP keeps the entire company alive during a crisis. The DRP is specifically about getting the computers back. Business continuity is the whole ship. Disaster recovery is the engine room. Now, the single most important idea in this topic, and the exam's favorite. When our company goes down, two numbers define the recovery, and they sit on either side of the disaster. RTO. The recovery time objective looks forward. How fast must we be back up? It's the maximum downtime the business can tolerate. If our RTO is 4 hours, we have 4 hours to restore service. RPO, the recovery point objective, looks backward. How much data can we afford to lose? It's the maximum gap between our last good backup and the disaster. If our RPO is 1 hour, we can lose at most an hour of data, which means we must back up at least every hour. RTO is about time, downtime. RPO is about data, how far back you restore. Time forward, data backward. That distinction is worth real points on the exam. RPO is only a promise if you actually have backups, so know the three types. A full backup copies everything, complete but big and slow. An incremental backup copies only what's changed since the last backup of any kind. Quick and small to create, but restoring means layering many pieces back together. And a differential backup copies everything changed since the last full backup, larger than incremental, but faster to restore, because you only need the full +1 differential. The trade-off is always speed to backup versus speed to restore. Most organizations blend them, a weekly full with incrementals or differentials in between, to protect our company's data without backing up everything every night. A backup sitting next to the server it protects will burn in the same fire. So where backups live matters as much as having them. Remember the 3-2-1 rule. Keep 3 copies of your data on 2 different types of media with at least 1 copy offsite, away from the building. That 1 offsite copy is what saves our company when the whole server room floods. 3 copies, 2 media, 1 offsite. Simple, memorable, and it's exactly the kind of concrete rule the exam likes to test. If our building is unusable, we need somewhere else to run, a recovery site. And there's a spectrum, trading cost against speed. A hot site is a fully equipped, ready-to-go duplicate. Hardware running, data current, you switch over in minutes, but it's expensive to maintain. A cold site is the opposite. Just empty space with power and network, cheap to keep, but it could take days to install equipment and restore. And a warm site sits in between, some hardware in place, data restored from backups, ready in hours. Hot, warm, cold. The hotter the site, the faster you recover and the more you pay. Our company's choice depends entirely on its RTO, how much downtime it can survive. The best disaster recovery is not needing to recover at all. So we build in redundancy, no single point of failure. RAID spreads data across multiple disks, so one drive dying loses nothing. Failover and clustering keep a backup server ready to take over instantly. And redundant power and internet keep the lights on. Together, these give high availability. Systems designed to stay up through failures. Disaster recovery is the plan for when things break. Redundancy is the engineering so they don't break in the first place. A strong organization invests in both, the safety net and the strong rope. And here's the point that ties this whole video back to the very first one. A disaster recovery plan you've never tested is not a plan. It's a hope. You have to rehearse it. Restore from those backups, fail over to that site, and time it against your RTO and RPO. Untested backups fail exactly when you need them most. Remember what we said about backups in the general controls video? The control isn't the backup. It's the proven ability to recover. Testing is what turns a stack of backups into genuine resilience. Auditors will ask not just do you have a plan, but when did you last test it? For the exam, lock in 3 things. 1. A BCP keeps the whole business running. A DRP is the IT subset that restores systems and data. 2. The big one. RTO is your maximum downtime, time forward. RPO is your maximum data loss, data backward, and it drives your backup frequency. 3. Know your backup types, full, incremental, differential, the 3-2-1 rule, and the recovery sites, hot, warm, and cold, trading cost against recovery speed. Get those, and you can look at any organization and ask the questions that separate a company that survives a disaster from one that doesn't. How fast can you recover? How much can you lose? And have you ever actually tested it? 60-second recap. Availability is keeping systems up. A BCP protects the whole business. A DRP restores the IT. 2 metrics rule recovery: RTO, your maximum downtime, and RPO, your maximum data loss. Backup with full, incremental, and differential copies under the 3-2-1 rule. Fail over to a hot, warm, or cold site depending on your RTO. Build in redundancy for high availability and test the plan, because the control is the proven ability to recover. Now here's your call to action. If this made disaster recovery finally click, hit that subscribe button so these ISC lessons come straight to you. Give the video a like to help another student find it, and drop a comment telling me your organization's RTO or whether it even has one. I read every one. Next, we turn to the threats these defenses are up against, the specific attacks that target our systems. Study hard, and I'll see you in the next one.